Today, we're going to show you how you can easily get set up and running with Monday.com in under 15 minutes. So many people looking into a project management software are doing so because they feel disorganized, behind schedule, or sick of Debbie in HR saying, I can't find the email attachment. Can you forward it to me? No, Debbie, I won't do that for you. It's inside of the task inside of Monday. Monday is a versatile tool that can help you plan marketing campaigns, manage a sales pipeline, or create a product roadmap within your engineering team. Whatever needs you have, Monday can grow with you and have you feeling in control throughout the process. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to create a custom dashboard like this, which can help you create a snapshot of your open task where people are stuck. You can view how budget details are shaping up, and if you're managing a remote team, you can see their time tracking in real time for the day and week. You can feel in the know with a calendar view of your workflows. But even better, I'm going to show you how to create time-saving automations that'll help you automate some of the annoying aspects of managing a project, aka people, but more on that later. To better explain the tool, we're going to work through a project I'm working on right now with a nonprofit. And an idea that we had is to tap into the local love affair with wings here in Buffalo, New York. So we're creating this like wing style challenge. It'll function a lot like the Ice Bucket Challenge did for ALS research, where people will be encouraged to share their videos of them eating some sort of spicy or crazy wing, so we can generate a local viral buzz, which will lead to awareness and donations for the charity. This project requires many tasks and team members to help it be successful, and Monday is the perfect place to make it all come together. Before we get started, I'll mention that there's a link in the description below to get set up with Monday, which includes a free trial to the service. It is an affiliate link, which I'm compensated for, but it's no additional cost to you, and I'll highlight any bonus offers that are available to you when you use my link. But I want to earn that click by creating a kick-ass tutorial for you, so let's get started. First, we're going to zoom out and start off with the absolute basics of Monday. This is your main menu on the left-hand side. If you can't see it, it's because this arrow, you just have to click it open. That is always available there for you. And this you can customize to your interest. You can also have my work, which is based on work that's been assigned to you and due dates. So you can see what is due that day, what might be stuck. You can see your projects here. And then from there, you can also see favorites. When you click on favorites, I have 2 favorites here. If I wanted to add in this org chart, I would just do that. Now, if I want to remove it from favorites, I would just go like that. And again, if you ever can't see anything, it's usually an arrow. So in this particular case, I want to see my other workspaces. While I do that, they appear and then they disappear. Let's talk about structural hierarchy of the tool. Everything really starts at the workspace level. When I click this button here, you can see I have 2 workspaces. The reason I have one called Future Workspace is sometimes you have projects that may pop up where you're like, that's a great idea, but we need to focus on what we're working on right now. Now, the main workspace is what we're working on right now. And inside of here, you can see 3 different folders. The Human Resources one actually has subfolders. So workspaces, folders, subfolders. And then inside of here, when I click the 3 dots here, I can go to create in folder, and then you can see different things that we can create. There's a board, which is essentially your project management board, doc, very similar to Google Docs, dashboard for reporting, forms, and then you can install apps as well. And there's a bunch of different apps that you can set up. Now, in this particular case, let's take a look at our board meetings. I'm gonna click up here and I'm gonna create a doc because I need to do meeting minutes. Now, if you notice here, meeting minutes is on the same alignment as all of these folders, but you're like, no, I needed that inside of board meetings. So all I would do is I would click on this and I would move it up here, and you can see the gray, right? See the gray? It's kind of hard to see because I'm kind of hovering over it, but I want it in line underneath board meetings. Now inside of here, well, I had to create a meeting minutes document. There's actually a quick starter template and I can see what it looks like. So just that fast, I now have a template and I want to say, Mari was in this meeting and so was Eric. You can see how easy and quick it is when you're using these quick keys and templates to be able to build things. Before we get to the fundraiser idea and really break that down, I want to again hammer the importance of templates. So here's a time off request system that has been built. And this is extremely complex. And I say that because there's formulas built in. Like this one's under review for Emma, and these are the start and end dates. You can see it even has calendar days versus working days. And then there's so many different things. I can see a timeline of all of these days on a timeline like this. And then I can say, okay, I want to see a calendar view because I prefer that. I go into next month, I see Evan here, and it's green, and that's a pretty long one. What is that exactly? I click on it. I can see it was approved when it was submitted. And I'm like, okay, Green is working from home. And I have a description of why he's working from home and how many days he'll be doing that for. Again, it's about feeling in control very quickly. I don't need to email somebody asking them, why hasn't Evan been in the office? I can find that in the time off request. But going back to this in the main table, because this is kind of a secondary menu, is when you're working across, these are the menus within that board or that dashboard that you can start to look at things differently. This looks like quite a bit of work. It's not. If I go up here and clicking on the time off 3 dots, create in folder, and I said, I need a board, but I'm gonna start, instead of a new board, start with template. All I did is I searched up here and I went to time off, and then that board popped up right here. So use template, and just like that, I have a board for HR requests. You can see all this different information. Now, do you have to spend a minute or two trying to figure out what you need? And you're like, you know what? I actually don't care about the requester's name, which you probably should care about. I just click here and I delete that column because those are columns right here. Now, why don't we actually go through the basics though of these different items here and explain this so you know exactly what you're getting into. We're gonna click on the Wing Fundraiser. If you don't know what it is, you can just hover on it and I see that that's a board. I hover on this dashboard and it says this is a dashboard, but you'll get familiar with the icons and what they mean. So Wing Fundraiser here, you can minimize everything. All we have is a to-do and completed right now. These right here are known as groups. So I'm opening up this group and I'm opening up this group. Then each of these items that you can see right here is a task. I'm gonna hit enter, and then I have a new task. When I'm setting up this new task, I can work across the columns. The first column here is the chat bubble. This is huge. You want to train your employees and your staff to use the chat feed. The reason is we jokingly talked about Debbie in HR asking for some file. Well, that's going to be inside of here. When you train your employees to do all communication within each task, it makes your ability to recall this information that much easier. Now, right here, I'm gonna assign somebody. I'm gonna say this is Eric Worrell, and then I'm gonna say status is not started, or I can say working on it. We can apply a due date very easily. And let's say it's actually March 22nd. And now you can see that that due date though doesn't really fit up in line with this. So what you can do is I'm gonna click on the 3 dots here for due date. And all I want to do is sort column. So just like that, this new task is at the top because it is the due date that is the earliest in this sequence. If I want to put a project cost on it, I can do that. The way I built this project cost out was pretty simple. You click a column, and then I went to numbers, and then I click on this, and I go to settings, and I want to customize numbers. When I click here, this is US dollars. You know, if you're doing the euro, you can do other things. But I want this to be a money column. And then I just renamed it. So now you can see that is exactly how this project cost came up. Now I'm gonna delete this one right here, but I wanna show you how cool this is that Monday automatically updates things. Here you can see in our to-dos what's upcoming. I have about $400 of projected cost, but in completed, we have a $500 item down here. When I click on our dashboard and I go down to total spent this month, you can see 500 and 400. Now, if I go back to the dashboard here and I change this status to working on it, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that hand item, I'm gonna drop it in here, and again, it's out of order. I'm just gonna sort this because I like to be neat and orderly. But now what you can see is we have a $900 to $0, and that will automatically update inside of the dashboard. Because I know for me, a lot of times it's hard to know exactly where costs are on certain projects. And this dashboard is just specific to the Wing Fundraiser. The way I created that dashboard was inside of the fundraising project. I clicked here, and then I said, create in folder, give me a dashboard. Now, I want you to see the new dashboard because I want you to see how this works. When I want to add a widget, I can just pick from all these different things. Here I did numbers, and then I'm going to connect boards to get started. I want this just to be the Wing Fundraiser board because that's what I'm interested for this report. And I can see 900 here. Well, I can go to settings, and then I go over here, and I believe it's under customize. I want this to be money, and then groups. Since this is going to be money that is already spent, I'm gonna say I only want this to be the completed group. And now it's $0. When I include the to-dos, it's 900, and that's all I need to do. And I'm gonna say completed work because this is completed. Now X out, we can see that here. And again, going back into the dashboard, All I'm gonna do is I'm going to say that this one is now done because of an automation that I've built, which I'm gonna show you here in a minute. It automatically moves down into this group. And now on this new dashboard that I created, you can see the completed work is $250. I want another widget. Maybe I want to see a battery. The battery is really helpful. This is just a way of saying like, all right, this is what's done. This is what's working on it. Stuck. I click on stuck. I can immediately see the task and where they are stuck. So we've worked through the hierarchy of things because when you're inside of this, right, we've talked about the fact that these are groups, and then within groups we have tasks and there are columns, and you can add these columns and be able to do different things. One of them that I set up was time tracking. Again, super easy to set up. What you can see right here is that Eric is actually in the process of time tracking on this project. So when I look at the wing dashboard that I created and go down here, you can see time tracking adding up for Eric, but it's also adding up over here because Mari isn't working right now. This is a pretty cool feature because again, it makes you feel in control, especially if you have a remote workforce that I know Eric's working on something right now. And if I actually go to the fundraiser dashboard, I can see what he is actually working on right now. Now, I mentioned that when I move something to done, it automatically shows up in completed down here. And you can see in the bottom right-hand corner that the automations are working. I want to show you where that comes from. In the upper right here, you can see a little button and it's automate. This one right here was really easy to set up. You can see when status changes to done, move item to completed. These are so easy to set up. Just click here, and then this is a most used one. And then I click on it again. So when status changes to done, then do this, and then you can see it shows up because it's a very common one. Move item to group, and then I select the group, completed, create automation. Now what you can start to do is that you can actually create automations on top of that. So how about when this happens, when status changes to something, I'm gonna do the same thing, that when something goes to done, then what I wanna do is I wanna notify the owner that that project is done, because maybe somebody on their team is working on it, but the actual owner, the project manager, is working on it. So it'll look something like this. So here you can see it says, hey, task owner, the task name is now done, because it's gonna be set to done. So I'm gonna notify myself, I'm in Lucas's account right now, and then create the automation. So now what will happen is, let's say Mari here is not started, but then she clicks done. An automation is firing, it moves down into this completed list, but up here you can see a little notification icon. And this says, hey Mari, the task outreach to restaurants is now done. And this is a automation, but I say, you know what? It doesn't really make sense because this is coming to Lucas's account. I can change this up a little bit by simply going back to the automation. And then I would go in here and all I would do is change this so that it would say, Murray finished the task and done, update automation. So let's give this another go. I'm gonna click here, done. Moves it into the completed. Immediately I have a notification here and it says Mari finished the task, create a pitch deck is now done. This is where the magic of a project management CRM tool comes from with a tool like Monday here. It is so helpful for helping you work and operate more efficiently. In a second here, I want to talk about Monday Marketplace, which is really an underutilized aspect of the platform. And a lot of content creators, for whatever reason, don't talk about this. And we're going to be getting into that in a second. But before that, I just want to make, again, a quick mention of the link in the description below. You can sign up for Monday with a free trial with my link. But what I will do is next to the link, I will let you know what kind of bonuses that I can secure for you. So not only will you get a free trial to start, but I'll try to secure an extra bonus for you as well. Now click on here, Monday Marketplace. These are just incredibly helpful things to be able to look through because these are above and beyond just templates. These are really integrations into other tools. So when I click on marketing, Monday's not going to replace everything in marketing. You might still be using MailChimp, but now you can integrate it. And when it's integrated, then you can create automations that impact your marketing. Now, a way that you may think about this is, let's say when we were looking at groups here, so one of the tasks on here was outreach to restaurants. Well, that may end up becoming its own kind of board. So I'm going to search sales here. And then what I can see here is a basic CRM. I'm going to select this. And I decide I don't want to look at it in this board because I like, for whatever reason, when it comes to a sales pipeline, it to move this way. But I can have this have the different steps. Maybe it's outreach, it's setting up a call, it's reaching back out to them, securing the relationship, maybe they sign a contract. But when I click here and I drag, I can now set up automations that sync with my email marketing tool that it's going to fire off to this person because we went from discovery to proposal. It's going to email them a proposal through my email marketing tool. This is the part of Monday that a lot of people overlook because once you start syncing with different tools and integrating different tools, you can get your entire marketing or sales stack all inside of Monday and be able to manage it from this platform. In the next video on the screen, we're going to do a comparison of Monday versus Notion. Now, they are two of the top project management tools out there, but they have different pros and cons, and we're going to be deep diving on those to see which one's the best fit for your needs. I'll catch you in the next video.